best gameplay that's come out of their region in a long time. And over on G2, this is a team that surprises us again and again. And with players like Avova, Nukia, it's really no surprise.
No, but they need to get off to a strong start here. I think Paper X are almost like a fireball. Like the more they consume, the more terrifying they get. And that's what we've seen throughout the few days. And there's been some underperformers on the other side. I hate to say it, but I think Meadow's been the worst performing player in the tournament so far, which is a terrifying prospect because he's normally not only a rock for them, he's also pretty damn clutch. Yeah,
Meadow is a huge player, and it has been underwhelming in this tournament. I think he'll be feeling that as well coming into today, and that can play one of two ways, right? It's either going to be the fire lit under him, the motivation to show and put everything that he's got on the table, or it's the pressure that starts to really crack when a couple rounds don't go your way and things don't get off to a great start. Only time will tell, but G2, I mean, we know these guys for always being able to keep a positive mental. Not like Paper X are going to be any different.
No, for sure.
A cameraman on their side.
Yeah, of course. They're even... are they hiring the staff, or are they becoming the staff? It's hard to tell at this point. The people
he's just
almost running the show in the background is brilliant.
He's getting Cypher practicing, man, before the game,
There you go. There you go. He's going to be on the cams here, but... Oh, Avova almost caught out. This is the problem of playing against Forsaken. He is so quick on those battles, runs out of bullets for it, but they managed to get the control nonetheless. Wall in to give them that extra chance to plant, and now the rotation coming through, but never mind. Nuka's denied.
And they're watching the rope as well. Hoodie more than ready for that play to come through. Paper Rex numbers are thinning out. Mind Freak is even being watched for on the way behind. He'll at least get one, but there's the double peek to deal with him. And 10 seconds on the clock. Getting a plant would be tough, and with a bullet in the head, even tougher. 1-0 for G2. Kicking it off with a win here on Split.
Yeah, solid start for them. Managing to deny that almost all-out aggression. I think that's going to be the really difficult thing, because Paper X, I almost want to call Jing the ranked demon, like the ultimate form, like the man who's going to take pressure, push mid, like almost just get up in your face as much as humanly possible. He's doing that while having the second highest ADR in the entire tournament. So the man is managing to perform while playing a style that I feel like a lot of people have almost gone, okay, that doesn't work anymore. That's 2020, you know? You know when like Mixer and Artist run down mid, that's 2020 style, and Jinx managed to bring it back going into this tournament. I think his Reyna has like 280 ACS or something absurd. Not on it here, but he's also been damn solid when it comes to the Rays.
Yeah, and it's not just about the fact that he's playing aggressive, running it up. It's not blind aggression. There's always a plan behind it. The utility usage, we said, like...
It's blind sometimes.
Well, it is, yeah. You know, more often than not, though, his opponents are blind, because those leers that he was putting in to cover the likes of a Sova Dart and stuff over on Haven were nuts. Benkai's gone down right away. This is an eco out of Paper X, and even that wall is going to keep them back for quite a while. Yeah, the chances of getting a few kills here not very high, and that's probably not a duel you normally want to take if you're Hoodie.
Yeah, like against the classic, a gun that we've already seen. So was it Marv on this map getting one of the most absurd jumping right clicks I've ever seen? But hey. 2-0, G2 only lose one player. Solid start for them on this defensive side. And I feel like that's always one of the biggest risks of picking Split, is that if the defense gets building on that defense team, didn't at least make it to the final. So G2 are the only one left who can do that. And on the other side of things, you've got Paper X, who that would be the first SEA team ever making it to a semi-final, which would just be ridiculous, especially because Japan have just done it earlier in the day.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we said, you know, the stories, the minor regions that we always talk about, it really feels like they just don't exist anymore.
Yeah, we got to start saying regions.
Yeah, just all the regions. And that's the way I like it, though. As they were saying earlier, Lauren saying, you know, it's that extra bit of spice put in there, and Jess was saying on the desk as well, right? It's so much nicer to have representation from all these different regions and different play styles as well. I mean, I don't know many people that play this game like Jing and Forsaken when it comes to pace. This time it's a little bit more contained, but they are up against a very low buy, so obviously you want to take it slower.
Yeah, Forsaken's always going to be a man to watch. In his matches so far, he's been involved in 44% of opening duels, and you can see he's about to try and get involved in another. I will say he's got the highest first kills and first deaths in the entire tournament, which I think that pretty much points to how he's going to play this game, but not in this round. It's Hoodie to kick things off. Bear in mind it is a bonus, so it would be huge if G2 were able to take this one over the line, but with Mixwell already gone, they all go swinging. The trades actually aren't bad into a 2 versus 2 scenario, and with the spike down, Paper X have to move.
Spike down, Benkai already tagged at 49 HP, and with Divide gone, he won't get healed up. They've got to go through this window that Nuki is holding, and he's more than ready for it. Look at the off-angle, the Spectre garnering an advantage because of that. And with just 50 HP left, well, I think Benkai's going to have a very easy time. The headshots need to be connected. He's got 15 seconds, and Nukia was waiting for him to emerge. 3-0, a huge bonus round picked up by G2.
Yeah, I like the fact that they had that triple rotation through Heaven. I think if you take these in sort of individual battles, the majority of time you're not going to win them. The fact that they're just able to trade out some of the danger players when it comes to Paper X and put Benkai into that awkward position. The other terrifying prospect is that Nuke's off to a flying start. Now, he's someone consistently over the last, well, since Valorant. Since Valorant, he has been one of the top players within EMEA. But he also occasionally, or actually more than occasionally, has a game where you can't beat it. And if you're on Paper X, that's something you really have to be careful of. Because you have star players, but if Nukia hits his peak, I don't know if there's anyone who can beat him.
Yeah, this guy, I mean, he really can't snowball into a game, right? As soon as he comes in with confidence, their win rate goes up massively over on the G2 side, and already being able to build up quite a number of rounds. Showstopper online to try and recover any sort of slip-up that could come through, and obviously up against Sheriffs, it always be scary. We saw what the Stinger could do earlier on, and Jing's going to be coming up close with it, already taking quite a tag from the first blast pack. The second going off just now, down to 36 HP.
Yeah, they haven't managed to close in any of the players, though. You can see that G2 are more than happy to just fall off of these angles, go back into more passive spots, and while the timing of Mixwell couldn't be much better, it will be a nice kill coming in for Benkai, though. They also isolate a player at the back of sight, but Mixwell's very quickly able to remove the danger and make this 4-0 on the board.
Yeah, the Headhunter coming in huge in this round. That is a fourth found for G2 with Paper X set to buy up themselves. Now, we're used to seeing Forsaken go for some very aggressive early rounds, but he's picked up the Operator to start with here, Tom, and that's going to be Glass Cannon. He can't afford any shields with it. That's a fairly big investment early on, but it could be a difference maker.
I will tell you now, he's still going to be aggressive. You look at the Operator and you go, logically, he's probably going to sit a bit more still, wait for someone to try and aggress onto him, but he is very happy to try and challenge and take some of these more aggressive positions. They use him as an entry fragger still, and he is ready to try and fight versus Mixwell. Now, obviously, Mixwell can take that more, well, I guess, wider swing because of the ability he's got in the Rendezvous.
Yeah, instantly over towards screens. Stacked up for another shot out of that Operator, but he's going to be blocked off by the cages coming over, buying a little bit of space for Forsaken to start to duel about. He'll look to see if he can just catch them peeking. And actually, Meadows walking up this alley, he could be in a lot of trouble if he swings into this. The Op is holding for him to do that. We're going to see the utility come in first, whether it's a stun or a flash. Seems Meadows quite conscious of it, but if he makes that little mistake, the A site could be in so much trouble. The rest of the team on Paper X can still make a split through vents if they want. They've got a player outside B. A whole bunch of options for them here, and it's slow through the A site.
It's a bit dangerous. Okay, eventually Mixwell's going to start looking back in that direction because it's somewhere that's not been covered at all, but
30
seconds
seconds
take
left.
that control. The problem is the time. They're just not being given anything at the moment by G2. So passive in their positioning, but they're wrapping him from behind. It doesn't matter though. Forsaken's already got the kill, and now Meadow is left alone on the back of the site, trying to hold this off versus almost the entirety of the squad. He manages to get the first, but quickly traded out. The patience of Paper X is rewarded, and now the remainder are trying to rotate in.
Yeah, it's a very brave play to pump the brakes like that and really try to maneuver G2 around, but it worked out. The absence of any sort of mid-control and getting a little bit surprised by that blitz through. Now all they have to do is hold on. Showstopper from Nukia, though, going to be popped to try and find some sort of an advantage. Knows where Forsaken is, but the shot is too quick. The reveal in the alley. Benkai's not able to convert, but it doesn't seem to matter. Forsaken's in with a triple. The round is secured, and Paper X finally get their first.
Yeah, I really feel like the danger there is just not, like, both traps were set up to almost give Meadow an opportunity that he would catch someone if they went walking through into the site, and then you had the other up on ramp. Nothing was covering the flank of Mixwell, so when he gave up that control, the rest of the players were able to walk through that without any trouble at all. So normally you'd either have someone watching in that direction, or you'd have a trap. Just something to give you that little bit of information, but instead, it was a big hole in the defense, and I'd be very surprised if that's something that's left open again.
Well, let's see what Paper X are going to be able to find this time around. We're starting it with Mixwell getting very aggressive, taking the orb. That's a tour de force online. Oh, sorry, it's Meadow. What am I talking about? No, it was Mixwell. He TP'd instantly. Jesus.
He's so quick,
fast,
he even
man.
bamboozled you.
He gets it and instantly goes. That's what we were talking, though, about, you know, Jet with early aggression. If you're in that position, dashing back's kind of tough, but now he's got a tour de force. He was able to get out safely. Now he can reset into this round and play the position that he normally does with an operator. The only thing is that you've had a player sneak into the corner. Forsaken is very close to him, and because he's moved his trap over towards Vents to cover for that push that came in previously, he has to stay around here a little bit more and try to duel for the ramp control.
Well, yeah, this time if they try and push through his flank, there is going to be notice. So they won't be able to get that same sort of space, even going to get slowed down for it. But he'll take the kill and still get away. Forsaken down, as said, they use him basically as the can opener. Someone to get them started, and instead Mixwell's repositioning. He's ready, but he doesn't manage to connect the shot as they look to clear him out of position.
A few seconds left before he can use his TP again, and actually the other anchors up top, he'd have to pull it back. Instead, he's just going to reposition in towards screens. Meanwhile, Nuki is maintaining control over Heaven, actually taking it back altogether. And then they get the one right into Mixwell. He's able to take himself kill after kill with 2 players remaining, 20 seconds, and a stacked up base site. It doesn't look like Paper X have too much of a chance in this round. Mind Freak could maybe try to get to B, but he doesn't even have his ulti online,
left.
just the one away, and you know that you'd be dead anyways. There's going to be a player lurking on that side of the map. That's another round for G2, and a very good bounce back. They haven't even had to use a lot of the ultis that they had in play, only that tour de force to start with, and I think they got good enough value out of it.
Yeah, well, it was basically just him trying to secure them actually having a buy into this round, but incredible stuff from Mixwell. Just able to shut down Forsaken early, get a collateral as they swing back through, and honestly, the point that's currently coming in is...
But it's been pretty difficult to find any sort of early round impact. Also, he's still not got any shields to play with because he's had to drop over his teammate.
It's definitely unfortunate. I guess most of the time he's taking a duel where he's either dead or he's got the kill. Yeah. So it's a risk, but it's not the worst one. This time they are looking to pick up the pace a little bit. Like straight off the bat. Oh, it's actually Meadow who takes the brunt. They switched the defensive setup ready for this, but it didn't even seem to matter too much. Already an early trade. Abova, he's teleported behind them. He's used that from the shadows to go straight into the spawn. We've gone back to the beta days, that's for sure, but again, it's only traded out.
Yeah, we're starting to see it more and more. Teams are just maybe a little bit too used to it being a rotational. Oh, Hoodie! They've lined up for him a quick double. I think even the collateral onto Mind Freak. Oh, that's horrible. Bankai left with practically no chance here. He's about to be swung by Mixwell. He's taking him down. That's at least a chance for Paper X here, for Bankai in the clutch, but Hoodie, ever vigilant on the corner, gets a 6th round for G2. And this starts with Jing blast packing in, ulting, almost taking the double. Mixwell luckily able to get out because of his anchor. As you'll see here.
If you're Meadow there, you're just like, screw you.
Couldn't hit that shot, Mixwell, no.
You get to disappear and I have to take the bullet. I guess he did technically get rezzed. And then, and this is the thing, I can't remember, it might have even been Sideshow posting about who the Lanimal players are. And I feel like one of them is Hoodie. Like his step up in some of the matches that we've witnessed, obviously in the Loud one, I don't think anybody particularly performed to their best. Oh my god. Abova just jumping, gets his head completely decapitated by his opponent. That's one hell of a start. And I think they might have even got the rifle from that.
Yeah, he did. Forsaken's gotten out. He's now getting healed up as well. He's going to be pretty much full, if not up to 100. 80 to finish, not too bad. Yeah, nice upgrade for Paper X. Still going to be tough to get anything done with it. G2 are offering up a couple of opportunities. Hoodie on top. Oh, he is farming.
He's almost got his res back. He rezzed in the last round. Okay, sure, this has got a little bit ugly. And luckily, he's got Nuclear alongside him. 7-1. It is looking rough at the moment for Paper X, and G2, well, it's basically who in this round is going to get the multi-frag. Is it going to be Mixwell? Is it going to be Hoodie? You had Nuclear in the early rounds. Like, Nuclear's currently 11-2.
What a shot. Yeah, you know, it really shows you there the fact that Hoodie sees all these players. He's running low on ammo from tapping away. He's still up on that wall. He's still trying to get the kills. That is the confidence that they have right now on G2. And not just in that he will win the duels, but also knowing that Nuki was behind him, he knew that his back was covered and that they were going to be able to stop that push no matter what. Early aggression, and it works so well. Bankai top with his pants down, trying to sneak up into A. Jing has at least grabbed one, though, with Hoodie's aggression finally being punished.
Yeah, 3 players tag low, however, for the side of Paper X, so it's been costly. They are going to be able to reclaim B-Main control. That's not something that's really being challenged for at the moment, but just look at the rotation. G2 aren't really having to gamble here because they've placed that deep trap. Look how far it is on A. They know that no one's in that direction because there literally can't be anyone there. So now they've stacked up 3 players into the B site after already pushing them away from mid. A swing from Avova had its risks about it, that's for sure. And now Meadows somewhat stuck. He's got his ult ready and online. This will stun them up and slow them down as the swing is going to come through from Nuclear. They've got to be careful though because Jing's kind of managed to sneak his way through.
Yeah, thread the needle around the side, but Nuke is watching for a great shot from Jing. The nade gonna put a lot of pressure on Meadow, who's caught out by Devi, and Mixwell now has to do it all. A quick headshot found. The operator looking for another victim, headhunter in his back pocket, but he doesn't know where Jing's gone, suspecting that he's sneaking through the spawn, but the timing could be perfect. Jing just now coming out of heaven. Look, Mixwell thinks he might be coming around the corner any moment now. This is all going to be down to Jing to clear it as he comes through. Oh, that's perfect, though. They peek together, Devi clearing the corner, Jing ready to trade. There's no way that Mixwell was getting out with 2, unless he had some nasty headhunter switches. We've seen it before. But 7-2, either way. That's a lifeline for Paper X, but they don't really get an easy round for quite a bit. You know, G2 have built up one hell of a stacked economy thanks to that 7-1 lead.
Yeah, and I think the Ultimate's also coming close to being back online. Hoodie's now one away from actually getting his res back. But I like some of the double swings in that round. Like you saw it just to trade out the kill initially. You had Avova as well just getting caught by those fast-paced swings out from Paper X. It looked a lot better in this round, but as you said, not about to get any easier. Mixwell already roaming, but look at the blast pack straight in from Jing. It is a trade, and while Mixwell then TP's back, repositions, and gets rid of him as well.
Yeah, I don't think we've really seen that for Paper X so far, that they actually spotted Mixwell going over to screens. It might have been just in the one round that they did get to see it. This time around, there's an adaptation from Paper X. They use their old move to B, and G2 have fully given up that side of the map, so this is actually pretty solid. They might be able to get in there and plant the spike, but of course, they're conscious that there could be someone still here around any corner. It's a very bizarre play from G2, but it looks like it's going to pay off for them this time.
Yeah, I guess in a lot of rounds, it's been these slowdowns and then resetting into the same site for Paper X. There haven't been these complete rotations, so G2 are able to gamble. The thing is, even in this scenario, they're able to play it as a straight-up retake. So even though there is going to be an afterplant and a good opportunity here for Paper X, they've still got a hell of a lot to do.
All they need to do is make sure that they move forward and trade together, right? If you manage to go down and Hoodie trades you, he's got his res online, showstopper for Nuke, and Hoodie goes down. Not the best of kills to have found. On the G2 side, at least they traded it out. The drop-in Benkai undetected. He's good for damage, but he hasn't delayed them by very long. Mind Freak, though, luckily has time on his side. You know, G2 are clearing at all these angles. And well, that's a little unfortunate.
That's a little ambitious, I would say. Just expecting both of them to be within the site at that point, and, well, literally caught with his pants down. 8-2. G2 again confirming their lead even further. I'll be interested to see what sort of economy's there for Paper X because each round has been one and done. Well, I guess they've got a Blade Storm. They've also almost got a Showstopper, so they can kind of risk it here.
It's sort of ridiculous when you look at the start of that round. Mixwell peeking the corner and just you absolutely cannot see Jing. He's on the screen for probably 2 frames and then he's gone up in Meadow's face. But he's still able to kill him like 2 seconds later because of the TP swing out and then frag. Like, the setup that they have based around Mixwell is just so hard to deal with.
Here.
I like the attack.
Jing has already got. He's just running a... No. Oh, he's getting a no-scoped instead! Oh, the Bucky not quite good as the scope shotgun. Forsaken will be able to get one. Showstopper online, but it doesn't really do too much. They're waiting for Forsaken to try and make the move, but Mixwell just hasn't missed a beat. Not giving them an opportunity. Nice shot from Mind Freak at least to get one. TP'd straight into an opponent though. Easy kill for Nuclear, and now Devi, well, he meets the same fate.
Yeah, they need to figure out a way to deal with Mixwell. I'm not even sure what it is. This guy...
He's a bit late.
See, the thing is, well, yeah, right, for this final round. The thing is, like, he's changing up his setup as well. This time around, he's adapting to the fact that Jing's been trying to blast pack through. He's playing up on the rafters. Jing still manages to make it up into heaven. And so he uses his operator like a shotgun, taking that, the final 2 kills. Altogether, this has been I mean, Mixwell on point. One of the main criticisms of the roster swaps that you had come through, obviously Mixwell brings a ton of experience, the IGLing from all the way back in the days of Team Mixwell, but it was the Kellogg's and Nuts player, and there were questions of whether Mixwell could hit that same level anymore. I think, at least in this map, he definitely is.
He's got Chambers mechanics down to an absolute T. Like, you don't see him quick switching a lot of the time unless he's just not gonna have the reset on his operator. Like, he's just so good at repositioning and claiming lies every single time. Now, Jing's at least managed to get one here, but it's at the cost of a showstopper and a lot of his health. But Meadow again, caught out completely.
Also, huge damage done to Mixwell, who's tucked in the corner, pushed on by Jing. It looks like the solution was just all-out aggression. Nukia will be rezzed back up, and they've got the control, but Forsaken's able to get him. The off angle as he gets rezzed up, the top of his head becomes visible. 5v2. This could be the round that PaperX need. At least the foundation built for the next half with a pistol win. Maybe it can go their way. It's a 2v3 now. The spam pretty good.
He's almost dead.
Benkai's on 5 health. This is getting scary. Mindfreak steps in though. Benkai down. 2 versus 1. Hoodie has to clutch this out. He's got a wall to play with, and it's about to go down. Moving over to defuse the spike, but it's broken almost immediately. Hoodie gets the shot. Tries to bait Mindfreak. He's got to check the defuse isn't coming through. The headshot was found, but the round will not be. PaperX only barely getting away with a third. That might be enough, but they're going to have one hell of a defense.
Yeah, and I know there's one person who's going to be incredibly worried about this one. There's someone on the desk who actually predicted PaperX to win too. How are you feeling? Can't remember. Can't remember the rest of the word.
Well, Tom.
Oh, no.
We're diving back into things.
They're going to take back my PaperX badge.
Yeah, I'm going to make sure they take that off you. Mine's already on the shirt, so...
Please, Nikhil, don't take my badge away. I really like it.
9-3 as we check back into things. G2 on the attack, and they're taking over control of middle. Mixwell already posted up with this headhunter in hand. There's going to be a little smoke going down here. They've got a paranoia play. Is this a nasty little mid-aggression setup, or is it off contact? They've got a camera waiting. Oh, this is so disgusting. When the cam gets contact, they can swing out quickly on the back of the paranoia. The smoke's just gone down in mid. They know there's players close. The slow will just run the clock down a little bit more. Forsaken's got to go. But now they'll be tempted to push up. There's the paranoia, but nothing found on the back.
No, and they can't really continue to re-aggress. Mixwell does take a chunk of damage, though, and they've at least forced them back off of mid. They now place the wall down a little bit later and a little bit deeper, so wrapping in is going to be difficult. Breaking that in a pistol round can be tough, and if they are going to go for a B setup, they either have to go back and break that with only 40 seconds left, or they have to just run straight into B. Both bad ideas.
And as time goes on, you have to look at what we just saw up in heaven, which was Device, still with a slow orb in hand, ready to pop out a nade, still for Jing, although he's on the A side, so that'll be retake ability. Here we go. The play in towards heaven. The slow orb should come down. That's going to put... Oh, no, hold on. It already has. And in goes Device, straight through the smoke, but ammunition runs out. The spike recovered. Nukia rushing to the site. They've spotted Omen, but they have no idea that Benkai's already here, tucked up close, ready to take down that planter, and he's done it!
He's done it!
All that needs to do, Jing just needs to survive! Oh, he's being pushed and he gets one! The plant not coming in on time, and Jing will close it out. What a crazy pistol, and PaperX, they needed that one.
Oh, I guess we give the Red Bull clutch to Benkai, I think.
Yeah, maybe,
kind of,
I guess.
It's like Jing's the one alive, but
and he
Benkai
had to kill a guy to stay alive, so he sort of did win.
They could share it.
Yeah, they both
share
got a clutch.
The Red Bull clutch.
Well done. Team effort.
This man, there's so many faces of Benkai, I guess. Just sheer aggression. The nade might have done the trick as well, but... yeah, a huge round from him, just being able to get that timing. But I love the setup, and I love the delay. Deny that mid-control, post the wall up. As said, it takes ages to break it in that pistol round. And now, well, they've got their lifeline, Mitch.
An attempt there from Divide to go up top. Looks like he'll go for it again, but Mixwell's more than ready. Trained in on the angle, hoping that someone will give him that headshot. 5 bullets to play with here. Dangerous weapon, but they deal with it well. Meadow, good for the one. Look, anything that they can get from this point forward will be decent. They can walk out with 2 more kills. That'd be huge. And Mindfreak, Devi already tagged up a little bit. Of course, that heal coming through, though, to reset the health of Devi completely.
Yeah, they've got such an aggressive setup in mid. there's not really anywhere left for the players of G2 to go unless there's going to be a ridiculous shot from Nukia, and it's not going to be happening. Now for Avova, it almost, again, just comes down to trying to catch someone off guard, maybe spotting if there's still that push there, but ultimately they're being a bit more careful. And, well, I say that, Benkai's moved all the way forward just to get the orb.
Worthwhile, though, when you've seen so many players on the other side, and now the info of where exactly Avova is.
Gun here.
Found by Forsaken for the 3rd kill. He's not terribly close to the ulti. You know, these kills have kind of been spread out, so there's no major danger for G2 coming.
They really need this one.
Yeah, it's always good to see teams put that kind of thought into the map vetoes, and you really feel like when you leave your normal ban open, the other team, they've got a choice, you know? Is it a trap? Is it a trap card, or is it actually a little bit of an error? And normally, more often than not, it is a trap, and that team has put a lot of work in. We're diving back into things after that timeout. Paper Rex starting with an early paranoia over towards the A side, a slow orb as well. It's unclear what's going to come off the back of that initially until we see Forsaken down in middle. He's pushed all the way through and kept his control. And oh no! No! The timing! It's so horrible. Avova will survive. Jake going down, and Avova was on the other side. That is one of the most bizarre early rounds I've seen. Paper Rex were set up for success in multiple ways, and Avova's just outplayed them.
Yeah, that literally could not have gone any worse unless he somehow managed to get 2. That's the worst start they could have had in a round where they're taking a fairly big risk. They've got some interesting positioning here, though. Divide close. This could work out for him on the SMG, but getting out of here shouldn't be easy. He's got his teammate on the crossfire. A nice little bait and switch, and now playing within the smoke, manages to get 1 and jink up the 2nd. This is huge now for Paper Rex. A real chance for them to actually steal this round away.
Even the Spectre dangerous to Meadow, but Nuke is full HP. No, he's taken down anyways. He had the jump, but the shots just wouldn't connect. Paper Rex have gotten away with this round even after the start that they had.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, the upper air got 0 kills.
0.
That was all Spectres. And they played it perfectly. I love the bait and switch in Heaven. You have the player up aggressive. Everybody goes and tries to find him. In the meantime, you have that second player ready to sort of swing back out. And especially after everything went wrong at the beginning, I don't know how Mindfree gets this kill. Like, that's just such a quick correction. Doesn't even know that the guy's on the other side. So, yeah, 9-6. Big round for Paper Rex. Now they get to keep the operator and some of the weapons that they picked up along the way. And well, unfortunately for G2, not a whole lot in play, especially now the nuke has just been wrecked. Jing has no respect.
Spike
See? The rank demon.
Yeah, now they've got a rifle, but they've ran it right back into Benkai's arms, and he's able to finish that off with a double. 7 rounds for Paper Rex. 1 player lost, and it was Jing finding a triple. I think he's got Showstopper online now, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, indeed. So, well worthwhile for 1 rifle to make sure you've got that ultimate on coming in the next round, and for the damage that he did. And now just 2 rounds behind, Tom, but, you know, we saw the same from G2, a strong start on the defense, and then later on, Paper Rex pick up a couple of rounds. But with G2 on the attack now, I expect that they're going to be doing a little bit more legwork in that sense.
They've got some solid ults in this one as well. Like, we've seen how impactful the Tour de Force can be for Mix already. You're not far off the showstopper.
What?
Oh my god! Imagine trying to play against this guy. An actual nutcase. Just ult straight down mid. As said, it can be like watching your ranked games when you watch Jing, except it doesn't have... But they don't have as good aim as he does. I can guarantee that for sure. Is lost initially, but it doesn't matter. Already, Forsaken's re-aggressed elsewhere on the map and managed to find a pick.
Armor stripped off of Avova at least, but that's another massively impactful Shrouded step by Avova. I don't know how he's managing to consistently find himself, like, surviving these impossible scenarios. Trapped down in sewers, TP's across, kills him. Showstoppered on, TP's back, kills him. It's like... This doesn't stop, and here's the Rolling Thunder now. That's going to be a massive problem for Forsaken. He tries to get the shot out of the way first. He doesn't have his dash. He's being pushed on. Nuki up close. What? But Forsaken gets it. Still alive for 4, and he is out of there. Right back into the fray, though. Meadow takes him down and equalizes things, but that is obscene. No way he should get that much damage. Meadow snuck into spawn. They think he's behind the boxes. They'll be cautious of the spawn, but it's about the off angle from Avova, ready to swing at a moment's notice. The second they get contact, and a good ultimate used here just to gain that little bit of information. Flash doesn't serve too much of a purpose. Avova hesitant to take that swing. He's got 90 HP. They're going to wall off. Now this is dangerous. They're taking the space. They're pushing the site. Avova plays Ring a Rosie. They just need to run that clock down. The sprays coming through. The aftershock buying them a little bit more time. They need to get on this now. And the spams are about to come right back through. No kill just yet. It's halfway defused, and he's still on it. But Avova closes out the round. He survived for so long. This man should have went down right at the start to a showstopper, and he ends up getting out of there, winning the round for G2.
Yeah, it's mind-blowing. Well, yeah, let's just watch.
No,
First the correction,
no.
then he's even able to reposition and catch out Mixwell as he swings. A nice attempt, but it's just that return. Trades coming through eventually from G2 and the openings they managed to get elsewhere gives them their 10th round onto the board. Now, financially, no real trouble for PaperX. They're still going to be able to buy. Ult's not there in the same regard. You're not going to have the showstopper, but you do have the res available to you. He's too confident.
Still going for it, man. Well, Forsaken's early aggression doesn't get them anything here. Jing backing off on mid as well. It looks like they're content to give a little bit of extra control to G2, playing passive in heaven. Maybe not starting the early rotations. Oh, that gets taken down. He committed to it. That was a huge mistake. G2 can't even make it out of the choke point now. And they're going to just slow this one down. Look for another opening.
That's a really audacious ult to try and commit to. I don't know if that was intentional or he just didn't see the player like right around the corner, but just to assume that's clear, based off what, like one player taking a fight or the fact that they pushed a little bit down mid, like I can only assume that was a mistake. And Jing, he's gonna get isolated. Not been having the best of times on this defense. The multi-peaks coming through from G2, leaving Divide to try and do some damage. Can he escape? No, he can't. Trades once again from G2.
Backside,
Okay.
Mind Freak seemed to be in a lot of danger, but he's somehow gotten away with it.
30 seconds.
Another kill for him, swinging onto Mixwell, and the round is his. He seems to be an enigma. No one could see this man. 4 frags and an 8th round for PaperX.
Yeah, the first one was kind of free, but from then onwards, that was just him styling on that B-side defense. And, wow. Yeah, I guess it was right at the end, just before he was able to, like, or just after he was able to cancel, but yeah, committing to that has so much risk behind it for Avova, and wow, this was just clean from Mind Freak. I think that the fact that G2 have done so well to isolate Jing is definitely a good sign on their attacking side, but they've now basically run out of ults. On the other side, the economy's starting to build. They're down to just pistols, and Jing just doesn't run away. he wants to farm up those eco frags, just chilling, slowing down the blast packs, and well, eventually they kill everyone without losing. It's Prime getting flawless, bitch. It's Prime getting flawless.
That looks like a YouTube video, man. The updrafts, the blade storms everywhere, dashing around, bunny hopping, spraying a right-click classic. You'll love to see it. Prime Gaming flawless, and they're not usually that clean. Can't believe he stole the blast pack kills. One of those rounds, man. One of those rounds. Look, it was an eco for G2, so they can certainly shrug that one off. But now they've got to come in with some success. They're investing all of their economy into this one. No operator. And Mixwell's been able to do a lot of work with that scoped weapon so far. Oh! How did he get out?
How is he still alive? He didn't even take that much damage. His teammate took more from the nade that's just got through, and then Hoodie, well, he bites the bullet because of it, giving Jules, he's still alive! They're shooting him in the back, and it doesn't manage to kill off Forsaken. The spike now dropped. 2 players trying to wrap back around, trying to reposition to somehow find a way forward. And in the meantime, Mind Freak, if he pushes any further, he's going to be in their spawn.
So the cam actually spotted Avova's Shrouded Step as he crossed over. They're ready for him. They're watching it, and Avova thinks that he's got this for free, that he's about to lurk up behind them and catch a big play. But instead, much to his surprise, Device swings in and ends any hope of that. That is 10 to 10. The numbers equalize, but you know what? It can be tough to use the operator on this map in general. Some teams decide not to do it at all, but in this series right here, it's having a whole lot of impact.
Well, it almost just seems like similar to what we saw from Mixer in the previous half. Just they're unable to deal with this player. The thing is, there was a few rounds that PaperX were able to grind out, whereas for G2 that just hasn't really been the case. They're going to try and pick up the pace straight into an early nade. Jing is just going to fight them. He wants to brawl. Fists are out as he's already managed to get himself a couple through the cage, and look how low the remainder are.
Yeah, this is going to be an easy cleanup, surely. And actually a blast back around from Jing. He deserves it. He absolutely deserved that, but they're going to be tempted to go get the weapon. Op shot not connected. Come on, are we still peeking the sheriffs?
What is going on? Stop swinging!
It's 10-10. G2 are hot on their heels, and mistakes are being made here, that's for sure. Forsaken steps in, he says that's enough.
He dashes into the light. I can't believe
11-10, not in the cleanest of manners, Tom.
I can't believe how they're playing these Antico rounds.
Yeah, it's a little bit ballsy, I'll say, but they've got it done at least. The round win is theirs.
I just imagine being the coach of PaperX and just watching Jing play and just like, no, stop it, please. Oh. And then he comes out and it's just like, boss, 18 and 18, good game. And it's like,
keep up.
Yeah, good game, good game. I've got a migraine, but it's fine.
Oh, here we go. Stun early, catches 2 players. Forsaken's gonna stick around in the corner, maybe even re-aggress here. G2 don't know how many players are in this spot. Look at PaperX retake on A after walling it up early, and that allows them to take that little bit of aggressive space. The res will be used up here to grab this player back online at least. The operator's still there to be dealt with.
They forced him out of position, but it almost seems like nobody wants to peek him at this point, and I don't really blame them. The Blade's now out for Forsaken. He's also got his partner in crime. Jing just running all the way through again.
Another one.
It's going to be dodged. Nothing coming out, and Mixor's managed to sneak into the corner. There could be a nasty surprise instead. They're going to go for a res of their own. The spam, not getting anything. In fact, it's the counter spam that finds another for Jing, leaving just over. And there's only so many bullets he can dodge. They swing in, and while it's the trade out, 12 now on the board for PaperX from 9-3 down. They are 1 away from taking their choice.
What an unbelievable swing. You know, Doug said it to me earlier in the green room when we were watching the previous map of Split, and he was saying, like, you know, this seems to be the map that just, it swings more than any. And we're seeing it right here. A team comes in with a pretty terrible first half. They only barely scraped a third out of it. And yet, G2, they can't get off the starting block. Again and again, running into problems, and none seem to be more consistent than this operator in the hands of Forsaken. Even when they stun him, even when they aftershock him, they flash him, they do everything they can. This guy's still able to get massive impact in every round.
You know, he's just going back to that original quote, the abilities don't kill.
They don't kill.
They don't kill Forsaken. That's the bit. They left out one word. They left
don't
out
kill
that one
Avova
word.
either. Guy's been showstoppered like
true.
10 times. He's just not going down. Yes. Shrouded Steps unreal out of this guy.
It's a slowdown from G2. I don't really blame them. They're trying not to run into the op of Forsaken. He is in the right place again. I feel like this is a game of chicken that you just don't want to be playing. He's trying to whack the mole before they've even come out. Like, he's somehow hitting through. Again, we're going to see the TP. Again, he's going to stick it. He's going to hold this control. They've got to be careful, though. Clearing those back angles, and it's just the shot landed this time. It's Benkai.
Rolling Thunder going to catch Jing on the site. Makes his way to the elbow. He's got cover from Benkai towards the screens. Now he can fight the site. Already taking Nuke down. Wide swing was great, but Meadow managed to react in time. The flank even spotted here. Avova thought he could be sneaky, but the camera was on him. Even still, he's able to get that one done and leave them with an advantage that Forsaken, well, he doesn't want it to be in their hands. He's pulling it right back into even territory. Wall on the left. Oh, the jump! Meadow's still alive, but Mind Freak will take him down. That was a bit of a hard...
Going straight through with a gate crash into the site. It gets 1 kill and then dies, and then everyone else is still just chilling back towards the spawn. There's no real value in that, and you've lost your star player. So definitely more to be desired. I also think Jing hasn't had anywhere near as much success on this map, so if he pops off, Forsaken's play might not even matter.
Oh, that was dangerous. Mixwell barely getting out of there. Just 20 HP on the way back, and Hoodie, well, he took a headshot as well. Never mind the Yoru or any of the comp. They're just taking him down. The site now theirs. PaperX be able to play for the post plant. We've already heard the TP come through. There's 2 coming from behind. Vova in the spawn. I mean, someone needs to pop off on G2 for them to have a chance.
Spike planted.
Coordinated elbow push on the back of a flash.
Yeah, they are ready to try and battle that player in spawn. I don't think there's going to be much that Vova can do here. He's probably blinded up half of the team, but they have just pushed him completely out of position. And now the remaining 2 looking to come in from behind have to try and reclaim so much ground. Nukia not able to get anything done. The flash is so perfect as well, and they are just being isolated one by one. PaperX with a solid pistol.
Yeah, I gotta give that round to Devi, honestly, when it comes to that post plant. The fact that he's stacked up, ready for the flash into spawn, which pushes Vova back. He paranoias, they aftershock, they start to fight him. It's just, even though he's blinded them, they're spraying down on that corner, knowing that he has to step out of it eventually. And then, obviously, to close that out as well, to flash to re-entry. You can see the value of this guy, even though he doesn't necessarily come up huge. That's the thing, like, because they had the aftershock down, they knew, even if he blinds us, there's 4 of us here, we just spray that corner, he cannot get out.
If it works for Jing,
Yeah,
it probably won't work for anyone else. But hey, already, they've used that as a fake. There are still 3 players on the A side when there is nobody even going remotely in that direction, just from a little bit of utility being used early by Forsaken. And now they even have Benkai set up. This is just a well-designed round.
And one of the benefits of having this so early on, if you manage to get a clean round like this, also I think some Marshall there to be retrieved for Forsaken. He's got a free little upgrade for himself. Okay, here we go, into the smoke. This is a little dangerous. They hadn't actually seen that Mixwell was up close, but they deal with it anyways. Now, right now, any reaction that G2 tried to make to PaperX's play was shut down immediately. And that is great for your second round, making a statement, making your opponents really feel stuck. Also, that 1 kill that they got, it's only the Marshall in the end because you're just going to have Forsaken save over the Spectre. I'll highlight the main problem that we see with PaperX, at least in the last games on Bind. These guys could successfully take a ton of space, but it seemed like they were never happy with it. They always ended up pushing into spawn, over-aggressing, over-fighting for angles, losing those duels, and giving their opponents a way back in. We can't see that happen here, because G2 have already shown they definitely have the firepower to make that happen if PaperX get the same kind of space away.
Alright, it's a challenge early in the round for that B long control, that same pace. But they've shown a lot of presence on that side of the map, and now they just run straight back to try and put pressure in onto Mixwell. Steps have been heard, Poison Cloud initiated, but they're just going to go running straight through. It's Forsaken to find the kill anyway, and he will go down in response. Still, Meadow survives, but he's relatively low on health. These Spectres might be able to finish him off, but he'll get another.
That's 1 player aggressing in, you can have that, but now we got to see the rest. Find the advantages in these close fights. Benkai taking down Hoodie is something, and Mindfreak manages to step it up. Now Benkai's repositioning to play with his teammate. They've got post-plant Molly to work with as well. If Benkai can take down even 1 player.
Player standing.
But Nukia managed to get that angle. He catches him off, sneaking out of the lab. He's going to be halfway. That's not going to push him off.
It's not going to do anything.
No. They're stuck down. G2 find the round. Still, all things considered, 3 kills, spike planted. What could have been here, there's a lot of potential in that round. It's a pretty good 3rd round out of PaperX.
Yeah, if they kill off Meadow a little bit quicker, like he doesn't manage to get 3 kills, I wouldn't even be surprised if they won that. I do think it's important, though, that Meadow gets off to a strong start. As said, this tournament, for the level we know he can hit and has consistently done for quite a while, he's been desperately quiet, especially towards the end of the normal VCT season when we saw that big comeback from G2. He was a big part of that. So seeing him get off to a strong start, also managing to get his Viper's Pit. Now, something we have to mention, and we've already seen it previously, is they are going to challenge these Viper's Pits, and also Forsaken can basically get through it without too much hassle at all.
But see, here's the thing, right? We saw it from PaperX before where he tried to get behind it, and he did. But wasn't able to actually root out that Viper, and it's really tough with this comp to actually do that. I think Devi has to be leading in with some utility. You've got to get the information, but more than likely he's taking 1 or 2 of you down.
I think the worry for me in this round, at least, was the fact that Meadow was alone. Like, they've now rotated in Mixwell, which makes a lot of sense because you need someone to cover the back of the Viper's Pit. And that's exactly what DRX were doing. They were very prepared for anybody to try and play that Viper's Pit. Instead, though, he's going to go straight through it and manage to take quite a bit of space. It's more the information he gathers, though. Will he actually spot out the remaining couple?
Flash doesn't quite manage to connect. The stun does, but still Meadow's able to follow through with that kill. The nade from Jing is huge. A double kill from it, 3 in the round, and Paper X are right back in it with a showstopper in Jing's hands. He's about to be challenged, Avova. It's unclear whether he actually saw him. I don't think so. 4th kill for Jing. With a post plant and a showstopper to work with, this seems to be an impossible round for Nukia. It's even planted for Heaven. Nukia's now being spotted. All that Jing needs to do is wait and let him take that space, let him tap that spike, and then the showstopper can close the round. If the bullets don't do it, they might even just avoid using that ulti. I like the idea from Nukia to seize space, but time is such an issue. The player on the other side catching him first. 3-1 for Paper X. A very strong round. And it didn't really go according to plan. You know, that ult from Forsaken doesn't find the value that they were hoping it would. He goes down, Mind Freak as well, but that nade that he threw combined with the stun.
I think they were screwed no matter what. There was an aftershock through the wall. Like, they had so much utility ready to basically crush those players trying to hold on to lamps. And we know that getting into afterplant positions, you need to have that control on the attacking side. So it was just a big part of the gameplay coming through from Paper X. Incredibly well played. Jing as well, I said he'd had some quieter performances on this map. I think he's currently 8-1, has his showstopper online. Now his showstoppers have been a little bit cursed, but that can only last for so long, and Forsaken's already got the opener.
Winning out bathroom control, sending out his decoy to seize a bit of space to distract these players, maybe feed them the information as well, but they've seen exactly where Forsaken is. With him finding that kill, this is gonna, oh, actually they've spotted the players outside hookah as well, so you're still gonna have Avova sitting around this area, but with a bookie, okay, right, he didn't manage to get as close as I thought he could there. You're not going to attempt the TP. Okay, good. He fakes the TP. That's actually going to cause a bit of a problem. They've got to now be worried about him already being in the spawn. Selling the fake information. This is, I mean, we're already starting to see the value from Yoru that we didn't last time.
Yeah, I think as well you have to bear in mind. All right.
Oh,
okay, got a little bit dicey. But I think you have to bear in mind that DRX, again, are one of the scrim partners of Paper X.
Where's Yoru?
So you know that they've basically been practicing against this team up until like a month ago.
Is that who's dead?
Is he still going for this? Mixwell's giving this a go. Now, Device should basically be ready as he drops out, and now having a player behind should make it impossible. He's tapped the spike to bait him in, but he won't get anything more. But yeah, DRX are very, very used to playing against the Yoru because it's something that's been done for a while, and I imagine it's something they did in scrims for quite a long time. So they're a team that knows it's coming, so they practice to beat it. G2 will not have played against this composition before because no one in EMEA runs it. And even if you have the theoretical ideas of how to deny this player space, if you then focus too much on denying Forsaken, you give space to someone like Jing, which is a bad idea.
Really interesting. I just noticed that you had the TP down as well as the decoy. And when the decoy got into the corner and wasn't moving anymore, he fakes the TP. I mean, that just seems to serve to drag players' attention that way. Maybe they panic shoot it, pop the flash, give the info. Here's a flash of their own. It's a fake, and Nukia able to capitalize on it, but now the rest of the team coming through. Nukia keeps on delivering, but his teammates are falling. Showstopper coming out. He doesn't know about the player in the corner. Oh, that is terrible for G2. They put it all into this round. They fought for mid control, but they did not receive it. Devi won't be able to be healed up. At least he'll remain low.
Those Seekers might have actually sold a bit of a bait because of the quick rotation. However, the straight move into the site, the dimensional drift is going to give so much away, but they don't know. They don't know the Mixwell's here. As said, the Seekers gave away that false information that he was on the other side of the map. Making that quick rotation is going to be a nasty surprise. And he's being surrounded by so many different people. Forsaken is currently jump spotting next to him and will go down because of it. That gives an opportunity here. Meadow, though, still locked out. Mind Freak just using utility to hold him back, and sneaking through this smoke is going to have its risks about it. He has his poison orb on the other side, and Mind Freak is going to opt to play within it. Wins that duel, leaving Mixwell alone, and the clock beginning to tick once again.
Contact flash ready to Devi. Popping this any moment now. There it is. Fully blinded up Mixwell. Didn't stand a chance. That's a triple for Devi. A huge round for him, punishing the aggression out of Hookah. And they all managed to avoid the showstopper too. I mean, G2 threw a lot at that round, and they walk out with nothing.
Yeah, I have to say, like, although you might look at the scoreboard and, okay, Devi's now on 4 after getting 3, his flashes so far have been fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, he basically just uses them to gain space for the rest of his players, or, in those sort of positions, just take the contact away. And well, just patiently waiting for the perfect moment, even if he doesn't get the kill.
We've seen teams deal with very easily, but when you're not familiar with it, like you said, you know, you're not scrim partners with these guys, you're not used to how they like to play. It's a very hard thing to counter on the fly because you're plugging holes that you didn't even know existed.
Yeah, exactly. And even if you do manage to shut it down, as said, there's other players who will step up to the plate for this squad. Like, you need to have your full focus on Jing the majority of the time, as he's just going for these aggressive plays. Now, they've used the Tiger to clear a lot of control. There is still a trap available to them. Forsaken can't quite get out of there. A little bit more aggression, leaving a Vova in this corner. They might even look to try and pressure him. Never mind, Mind Freak's already caught him, and now it's troublesome. But Mixo actually gets the collat headshot through Jing. So he's done a hell of a lot of damage there.
Huge damage, avoided the ult, and then Mind Freak goes down. This is starting to look good for G2. Finally a round that they've got the late round advantage in. Time not really on their side, but it's ticking slowly. Devi on the other side of the smoke. It fades, and Meadow's quicker to the trigger. Nukia doing exactly the same. That's going to be a second round for G2 at long last. Finally, they've got a solution, but I can't help but feel like they caught a couple of those Paper X players unaware. That shot from Mixwell as well. The fact that he dodges the showstopper, but still connects the shot onto the Rays, and then takes down the Benkai, who was in hookah behind. That won't happen every round.
No, I think also it was just a switch in setup. Like, because they've been pressuring this B site so much, they just give Mixor the space to actually try and deny it with his operator play. So I think that there was a lot put into that round from G2 that, well, if Paper X now just go blitzing in the other direction, it could be very difficult for them. I do like the fact, though, that they've actually put themselves in a spot where not only Mixor will be able to fast rotate, as you can see, he can get from either side of the map in a matter of seconds, as we talk about quite regularly when it comes to split, and Nukia's already dead.
That's a quick kill. Bathroom control not given over, though. You still see Meadow sitting around here wanting to fight. Trailblazer spotting both. 2 players on the A site. That is huge information to play with. The flash confirming that they're falling back, that they're on the site itself. At this point, they feel content to pressure in towards the B site, but those Seekers are just about to give the information away. In fact, look, Hoodie is going to follow it all the way. Forsaken wisely hides behind, but as they give up control and fighting long, Jing takes the site. Now they're going to look for the plant, and even worse, they're going to look to get this Judge into a position where it can have massive value up close. Walking right up to the smoke, the flash through, though, is good. No kill connected. Hoodie stuck out in no man's land, and they've heard Meadow, the jumping shot. It's ambitious from Benkai, and it will not work out. 2v2, what a shot! How did Jing respond so quickly with Hoodie going down? The round's in Paper X's hands. That was unreal. I saw the headshot and thought Jing was dead for sure.
He's just quick enough on the reactions. And the thing is, most of the time when you have a Raze, like, basically blast pack it into a site like that, they normally take some hits. They take some damage, or at least a spot him. But he manages to just gain so much space for this squad. And because of the control that's been taken elsewhere, they're almost completely surrounded. And they still manage to win the majority of those duels. 6-2 now on the attacking side. Money is completely in the bin for the side of G2. And sure, they have a couple of ults online, but they're ones that I'd be very surprised if they tried to utilize here.
Well, you know Paper X are fired up when they're howling after a round like that. It's exactly what you want to see. Up against pistols here. Still, though, a round like this doesn't come without its dangers, and we've seen all too often nowadays, Tom, that shorty, it can ruin your day. I mean, we've seen double kills come through from it.
He actually turned around. Not used to playing against the fake out, I guess. They will actually take down the real deal this time. So much damage from Mixwell. The classic jumping once again, and now Hoodie in position with his pistol. It's Mind Freak alone. He's being hunted. And G2, well, you mentioned the pistols. It wasn't quite the right one, but even still, they've got themselves a cheeky third.
Absolutely. Yeah, that third round coming through, I mean, you're not surprised anymore. Coming in this event, I didn't give Thrifties anywhere near the level of respect I guess I should have. But with an addition of an agent like this, Because Mixwell actually managed to hit him with a body shot there, lighting him to like 10 HP. He was red, and that right click from the Classics all too clean in those situations. This leaves Paper Rex in a pretty tough spot where they themselves can't really afford to buy. So, based on the stats, this is going to be a 7th round.
Okay.
I'm just scared of that Bucky. I assume it's going to be a blast pack play straight in
Jing,
towards
so yeah.
lamps. Like, that's the main position you want to try and take that gun. Anywhere else doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Going to try and clear it out, has a few pieces of utility, gets completely blinded by a teammate, and decides to go the other way.
Yeah, I've seen 3 outside of A as well. The rotations came in from G2 on the back of that early round Trailblazer that they sent through the teleporter. They have given up all other control. Luckily, they can see them coming through Hookah. And they can see them going to the site for sure. Avova almost got caught with a flash out, but good repositioning. Hoodie covering him. And this is a very clean round from G2. Barely a lick of damage taken. We go into the final 50 seconds with just a Sheriff opposing them. Okay, he gets the one, but it'll come to nothing in the end. 6-4. Good recovery by G2 so far. Let's see if they can keep it going.
Yeah, that sort of Antica round that they managed to win has put their economy in a much better spot because of the weaponry that they managed to pick up. So going into the next couple of rounds, they'll be absolutely fine. Jing has decided that he's a shotgun main for the rest of the map, it seems, as he's now picked up another judge going into this one. But there's also a lot of ults. Like, you have to look at the fact that Forsaken's been able to take so much space in the past and get information with the Dimensional Drift. You've also got yourself some powerful ults in terms of the Seekers, so much information available. And if you get into an afterplant or fancy clearing some area, you've got the Orbital Strike as well.
Who's next? Well, the ulti out of Forsaken. He's got his TP in the teleporter. He spotted the Viper already. Ulti's going to be called right down on top of her. And this is dangerous now. Jing's already gone through. And the kill will be found eventually. Up close with a judge. Well, that's exactly the fight that Jing wants. Now switching off to the operator, but Avova gets to him a little too quickly. That's decent damage done, and they're going to leave the operator behind, taking instead the 4 versus 2 advantage post plant. Well, Forsaken's given away the fact that he's here at least.
Oh, maybe not. It seems like they're unaware. It's such an aggressive position, just looking to try and fight, take that control, and almost just confuse Avova along the way. Flash comes through, but he will win that duel. Now gets flashed up again. The Vi just won't give him a moment's notice, won't even give him the chance to try and pull off the clutch. And while we saw them lose that 1v4, I guess if you're that far in his face, it becomes a little bit impossible.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm really surprised there. You know, you have the ultimate come through from Forsaken to grab the information. Normally, that's where players are kind of spraying on the back. So you're like pinging the floor. You're like, he's on me, shoot me, so that they can kill him. But the movement there was actually really solid from Meadow. He immediately removed himself from the situation. He got out of the Brimstone ultimate as well, but it was just too much to deal with. He's stuck between a Yoru, which means he's going to be spammed in a smoke, an orbital strike, which means death, and a judge up close on the other side, which means death. He chose death. Not surprising considering the options, and Forsaken has just traded out his own decoy. Meadow gets the headshot on the wrong one.
Oh, it's so cursed. It completely fakes him out, and a free entry as well. That removes a lot of the utility from this site, and in fact G2 have decided to gamble, but the main reason for that is Avova's spot. He's deep within B. He's managed to push all the way through, starting to pinch them in, and because of this they can gamble. However, Forsaken is now going all the way back through the spawn. This man, they've read this perfectly. They've caught that aggression. Now they're going to actually stun up the players. You see the showstopper. It never works for Jing, but he's acted as a great distraction because now the rest of the team are going back in the other direction.
True. However, you're actually going to... Well, the Seekers are definitely going to get the information. There's also traps from Mixwell. He's going to now be in position in towards the spawn. Unless the smoke goes down the next couple seconds, it's going to be a big problem to deal with. He's not even blinded up. That operator now ready to take them down. The shot's missed, though. A lifeline, perhaps, and they've caught him on the way out. The flash is perfect. Every single plan that G2 set up just falls to pieces in front of their eyes. Paper X set to pick up an 8th, closing out this half in incredibly dominant fashion. And even look at that, the TP off the ult into spawn. They know that he's not coming from here. And oh, there he is. Yoru just comes sprinting through and goes, yeah, he's coming out of hookah. Yep, free kill, nice and easy. 8-4, 8. Honestly, this is a devastating half for G2. It's their map pick, Tom.
Yeah, well, it's the elimination map, so it could be all over fairly soon. They might be eliminated by a...
Well, Tom, 8-4 as we check back into things, and just like Sue said, G2 are staring down the barrel of elimination, starting an attack side pistol. This could carry a lot more weight than they normally do. The pressure is on for these players. Certainly a team that we're used to seeing shrug off the pressure, but on the international stage and fighting to keep EMEA alive. For the first time ever, we could see a top 4 not featuring an EMEA team. G2 are the only ones left to make that happen. They're going to take this one slow to start with, playing the default, waiting for Paper X's aggression, but Tom, that's just not, doesn't seem to be coming.
This is a map in general where G2 have been fantastic this year, taking down Mech, Guild, Ascend, Zeta earlier in the tournament, so don't count them out just yet, and for now at least, you're right. Not really making too much of a move, but they need to start garnering some control. You can already see that there's temptation from Forsaken to almost just push this little bit further forward. Hasn't really seen too much. And now the rest of the players are starting to sneak their way forward. The flash comes through, but it doesn't catch anyone. A free kill for Nuki on his way into the site, but Benkai gets a trade.
Spike down A.
Benkai still holding out in this position, but they're looking to deal with him and Mind Freak. Bit of extra fire rate in there on the stim beacon. But Mixwell still dancing around, doesn't know about the extra flanker coming through. G2 still with the man advantage. Look at the HP as well. Benkai and Mind Freak, just a sliver, a bullet needed to take them down, and it's delivered to Mind Freak all too quickly. Jing's got to go huge, and he gets taken out. That is a 5th for G2, securing a much-needed pistol win.
Yeah, very controlled at that. I think the only thing they get caught by is the second flanker, and because of that awareness, and because they knew that they didn't have lamps, they planted in a position and then reclaimed that control towards the defender's spawn. So it was almost like a reverse retake, trying to reclaim the portions of the map that you normally had. So they've got that lifeline. They've got that opportunity now. A 5th round onto the board. Still going to be a bit of an investment here. Now we know Forsaken still likes to play the snipers when, when on the Yoru. As I said, it's something we saw quite a while ago from Laz, but it definitely isn't anywhere near as effective as it is now with just that faster ability to get out.
We've seen it time and time again. The Marshal in the early rounds and those seconds can give you huge impact coming into the next. Saya player was one that seemed to just get insane value out of early round Marshals, bringing it into Blade Storms. But this time around, Forsaken doesn't get any impact with it, leaving it down to the much weaker pistols to work around. G2, you can see how slow and systematic they're taking this. They've cast a wide net across the map, and they're waiting to catch any aggression. With a minute left, they don't really need to feel the need to move too quickly. And look at where these rotations are coming in. Paper X, having pushed up in hookah and heard no further aggression, are stacking up the other side of the map, leaving G2 with what should be a pretty easy task. I mean, Mind Freak only is a classic as well inside of hookah.
Yeah, if it was something a bit more deadly, maybe there's a chance of catching someone off guard. There is going to be a rotation back. The thing is, Paper X are just trying to work out the gamble they want to take, and now with the smoke going down, they'll at least have a player within the site. But again, the weaponry is just not ideal. Trying to double up the utility, but it's not really going to catch anything onto Benkai. And he will get himself a right-click headshot. Unfortunately, with how healthy the remaining players were, he's not going to get anything for it.
Well, a blast pack in the hands of Jing and a shorty is a scary thing. Flash already through, Mind Freak gonna take space, but they are destroyed on the way out of hookah. Very well handled by G2, netting a prime gaming flawless to close out that second round. I mean, you can certainly see Thrifties going in the, or coming in constantly in this tournament. G2 have avoided that pretty nicely.
Yeah, I like how slow they're taking this. They're making sure that if anybody is trying anything cheeky, they're going to catch it. They also have the traps down because, well, we know that they like to have those sort of mid pushes coming through. So, again, very, very controlled attack at the moment from the side of G2. Now, going into this round, Hoodie's got himself a rifle. They've invested that at least, but everything else is just going to be those SMGs. And, well, smoke put down early from Avova. I think he's heard the footsteps of them pushing up. Not going to get any more aggressive than this, and we'll just wait in the corner in case they try to push anything else. Other than that, though, fairly passive from the remaining players, and they really are trying to bait him into a swing. Instead, they'll just get the orb and leave.
this is still great for Evolve, you know, even though he doesn't manage to catch them, so long as he doesn't get spotted. I think that Boombot's going to see him now, though.
Instantly back.
I was thinking, yeah, they're going to leave that control. He knows then they're falling back, but once that Boombot sees him, he's in a lot of trouble. Because these players are going to stick around. They're going to keep on holding these angles, and with the smoke to fade soon. Oh, well, with Forsaken getting a challenge for free, and the smoke fading on mid, there's about to be a brawl. And it's quite clear that PaperX are coming ahead in that one in terms of weaponry. But with the utility down, G2 can close the distance quite significantly.
Ring about to be pressured. Molly in hand, he should get isolated here, so that's at least one in the other direction. A couple of kills here wouldn't be bad. It's screwed those Meadow, just stuck in that corner. Hoodie, though, manages to find another, still with that rifle in hand. He's actually going to swing back, but needed that duel to stand a chance, and now Mixwell left does manage to land a tag at least and make things a tiny bit more costly, but PaperX do well in this round.
Yeah, 3 players surviving. It's a bare minimum, really. You can afford to lose a couple to those weaker weapons. It still allows you to come into this one with a decent enough economy in the back pocket for a round loss. G2, I'm taking a look at ultis on the screen here for us, and there's none coming online. Yes. This is going to be a pretty basic round to fight for the first full buy versus full buy. Big difference maker here. You know, I'm looking at PaperX, Tom. You know, we're about to see it back home. There's a judge in play for Jing, and I'm scared of what this guy can do with that weapon.
Dude, look how Forsaken just straight off the bat, trying to almost sprint his way into his opponent's hands. Has taken that control at least, but surely they're going to clear this. I mean, the Tiger's going to see him almost instantly, but he's out of there. The trade just about comes through. So much damage done onto Nuke with the judge. And now, after taking at least a little bit of control, they've still got plenty of players to deal with on this site.
The decoy was popped and they shot it. They know that they're coming. Forsaken with another kill, and Bankai tucked in the corner. How does Forsaken get away with that? He was so low, and a third is found as well. That's utterly unreasonable. The hold on backside proving to be far too strong for G2 to deal with, and that's double digits, forcing G2 onto a low buy.
Yeah, this is very nearly coming to an end here. Like, you've got an opportunity for APAC to have themselves that team within the top 4. Make it through to the next few days, get an extra couple off as well to chill out in Iceland, and for G2, well, they'd be able to spend as long as they want because they'll be out of the tournament.
Yeah, they can go see the sights, I suppose. I don't know about where the mood would be at.
You can still see it. They want to shoot it, but Forsaken's still there just behind. A free kill on the opener. Avova still just waiting again. There is a rifle here. A little bit of a nasty surprise mixed in.
Oh my god.
Because they will be able to go for that purchase in the next. Mixwell, not going to get anything more, but he's done enough. Somehow, Jing, is he finally going to get a kill? No! He's the man who can't do anything with a showstopper. And now this comes back into a winnable position. Forsaken, though, is still lurking in the backlines. This is something they might not expect. The plant making its way onto the site. Do they even check in this direction? I don't think they do. And this is free. This is as free as it gets. Leaving Meadow as the last man standing.
Huge rotational power. That flash confirms actually that Meadow's over towards Lamps. They've got good info on the back of it, but he's going to bail out of there. 2v1. 40 seconds. Easily going to get that plant down. He's one away from Viper's Pit, Tom. I mean, that's devastating. If he had it online, he can flip this round in his favor completely. And the ult out of Forsaken, confirming exactly where he is. He hears the steps. The flash is hell. Oh, Meadow gets away with the first. Forsaken has to take him down, and he does. A 4th kill for this man.
Just flexes on him at the end.
And you can understand it after a round like this and the impact that it has. 11 on the board. PaperX stepping ever closer. I mean, this is the closest APAC's ever been to a top 4 spot, Tom, and it's within the reach.
So desperately close. And then this man is just leading the way. He had some quieter games earlier in the tournament, and we were definitely worried that it wasn't going to be the performance that his fans, his team, everyone desired. He's 24-10 right now. Trying to set up utility to deny him in the early round, at least get information if he does try to push. As said, though, Ultimate's firmly in the favor of G2, so this is a great opportunity for them to at least force a round back on the economy. Okay, it'll be there at least for now. Jing, though, he just got sprinting through the flash is nigh on perfect. They know for a fact that G2 were trying to set up something here, and now, well, they're pushing with everything they've got. 2 more players going in that direction. Mixor trying to control things, and well, whatever the plan was for G2 in this round, it's got right out the window.
Wow, that is big pace change out of Paper X. Oh, Volva's being spotted here, but Defy got cut off. The info is there at least that there's a player towards the spawn, but that's not really executable. What do you do on the back of that? They know now Mindfreak is pushed out of the teleporter, at least, that he's still around this area. And Meta's going to hold it. The smoke still up for quite a bit. Oh, it's actually just disappeared. And on the back of that, Meta will fall back, but Mindfreak takes that opportunity to push forward.
He's trying to stun him up. Trying to give an opportunity for Mindfreak to win this duel. He shouldn't have a chance. Meadow is waiting and watching, and now the afterplant coming through.
Player standing.
And they've got everything covered. Forsaken was late to rotate, almost waiting to see if they would go back in the other direction and have a spot, have an opportunity. Instead, he's now trying to sneak his way back through the spawn. A win here, looking nigh on impossible, but he's still going to manage to find the first. If he can make things costly, that might be enough to bring something back into the next round. Second kill's gone his way as well, and looking to try and, again, find a little bit of extra space. TPing straight into his opponent and couldn't quite correct. There was a moment of belief, but Meadow will shut him out.
4 rounds between them now. That gap's starting to close. Paper X, a bit of a tough spot too. I see an operator pulled out. They'll just about manage a full buy with a Bulldog in the mix. With this round, I really respect what they do. You have a timeout called by your opponent. You know that they're going to try something different. That's the whole point. And so Paper X say, hey, you know what? Let's use this like our timeout.
Yeah.
Let's get aggressive. I don't care what they want to do. Let's crush him. The Rolling Thunder used in the spawn and everything. There was a lot of ideas there, but they didn't pay off.
This orb could be big. Now it's a potential orbital strike. Again, ults for the rest of the players not particularly close, but it is now the buy. This is a much faster take though, and they're moving straight towards the judge in the corner. Mindfreak is going to get checked by the flash, but the operator's now rotated into play. A trade early, Forsaken still managing to connect, but he can't escape. His ult not quick enough to activate. Now they still haven't cleared this position. Benkai is just waiting, and eventually he'll get one for free. Jing has caught another, and now Nuke is the only one left. The first kill, well, looked easy, but it won't come through. 12 now on the board for Paper X, and G2, they're in trouble.
Oh, Tom, this is a bleak scenario. I mean, G2 gonna have to get 5 in a row attack side here, and with what Paper X have to work with, I mean, this is one of the most explosive ult economies that you have in the game. Sure, you can say the same on the side of G2, but they don't need to win just one round. They've got to spread it out. They've got to play for all 5, and in the hands of Paper X, and with Forsaken having the game that he is,
do you know he's the highest rated Euro in the tournament?
Oh, no way! Possibly the world at this point, to be honest, Tom. 1 out of 1. TP out for Forsaken as Decoy running across, not getting shot, but there's another player in the TP. Devi is sat here. They might not know this. It looks like they're conscious of it. Jing in a little bit of danger, but in comes the swing from the teleporter. Devi grabbing a single kill. So they might have to give up control of the site. And the Seekers confirming the players are still in here. Mindfreak's picked up another. This is starting to look like it's done. How has Evolva gotten away with that? But the answer is immediate. Meadow, the last man standing's taken down.